Hi there. Today we're going to sit here and discuss a lemon ginger tea I've developed over the last couple of years. It is a recipe I kind of designed based on the ingredients from a documentary I saw regarding Andy Serkis. He was a voice actor and body performance actor on the Two Towers and Lord of the Rings films for Gollum. As you can tell from the voice acting that Gollum portrayed, his voice was constantly getting ripped and his throat was getting torn apart. And so this was a tea that was provided to him to kind of help him get through that, the aftermath of that. So to start, there's a couple of little things you need to have. Obviously, you're going to need a pot and a cup. You're going to need your hot water. You're going to need a lemon, honey, and fresh ginger. I've made this recipe so often lately that I end up going for a little more automatic process, but you can actually do this pretty minimally with a peeler and a grater. I tend to avoid the grater because of physical injury constantly. But simply that, you just need honey, lemon, ginger, cutting board, and hot water. Otherwise, a grinder, if you want to make it a little more automatic, and a strainer would be beneficial. So to start, because I like doing it 1 cup at a time, and I've got the ratios all figured out, you're going to start with 1 cup of hot tap water to speed up the process and instantly turn the heat on to the oven. With the right timing, you're able to actually get through this whole process within 3 to 5 minutes, and it doesn't even have to get to boiling yet. As long as we get it steaming, we're good to go. So the first thing I like to do, have a little fun with it, is actually, once I get the water going, I like to draw a nice little abstract circle in the middle of the pot, and this will end up giving you a little ability to control your level of sweetness you want. And the next step is we're actually going to go through with the lemon. If you ever watched any old cooking show, the best plan to do with citrus is to roll it, and that gets the juices flowing. The next step is to actually cut off the ends and then divide in half. Because I make this so often, I've actually gotten the other tool, the lemon juicer. And then we're going to want to squeeze as much of the juices out into the water as possible. I used to use this recipe for dealing with my old colds and whenever I get a cold or a sore throat. But over the last year, my fiance has a condition called ulcerative colitis, and this is a tea that the ginger helps make her stomach feel a little bit better. So it's become very much a nightly routine to get this tea finished, hence why I've wanted to make it a little more automated. Once that is juiced, you can go through the next step. Now, I originally used to peel the garlic. It is entirely up to you. Because I make this so often, I've played around with the idea of just throwing it into the grinder. I make it so often, I was getting lazy one night, and my fiance was never wiser to sit there and see that I was grinding it with the actual skin on. So, entirely your prerogative. If you want to take some time to peel it, I haven't found it makes any other taste other than a little more of an earthy aftertaste. Now you can do this a manual process by actually using a hand grinder or a cheese grater, but as I mentioned, I have a tendency of causing physical injury. We're going to grind that down. Once that's ground down, it all goes straight into the pot. And it's going to sit here and steep until it starts to steam. You can stir it as much as you want. It just gives a little more contact with the water and the ginger. The ginger comes a little bit of playing with too. You can add more or less depending on how spicy and zesty you like it. I tend to like ginger a lot. I grew up on it because of a stomach condition that I had in high school. A ginger ale that I grew up with used to help. So I like things a little more gingery. But as that is stirring, you don't want to get it too boiling and hot, because otherwise you're just going to sit there with boiling hot tea, which is not beneficial. So the next step is to simply grab your strainer and separate the ginger and lemon and honey remnants. And your next step is to enjoy.